Good afternoon, and welcome back to The Siege, or good morning, good evening, depending on where you are around the world. And welcome back, folks. Let me switch to live here. How are you doing today? Hi! Hello, Dragadai. Hello, Sakura. Hello, everyone else lurking in the shadows. And welcome. It's Tuesday, the 13th of October. Yes, the 13th of October it is. And well, today is the official pre-patch day of World of Warcraft Shadowlands in the freaking USA. Because Europe, since 15 years, is basically getting shafted by one day, and everyone in Europe is just like doing nothing. Because nothing is happening today, because after 15 years, Blizzard believes it is still a very good idea for a video game to have at least a 24-hour delay between the patches in Europe. Why? Nobody knows, but Blizzard probably has a very good reason for this. They don't. Besides we have always done so. Yep, that is their official excuse. We have always done it this way, so we keep it that way. And it's like, I love those excuses. Believe me, I hate that. We have always done it that way. We have also done a lot of things. A little bit of things we changed today. So this is interesting for everyone who is interested in watching the VODs. So as of today, we are handling the VODs. Blah, 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 blah. Man, that's a word. The VODs a little bit different today here on YouTube. So it started yesterday with, if you might have missed it, the VOD only contains the gameplay of Fall Guys from yesterday. So the whole news segment is basically a miss, right? And that will happen today again. After a few hours, the news segment will be gone from the VOD, and it will only be the gameplay. Now, relax before anybody is like, but I want the gaming news, man. Where had the gaming news? See, here's the thing. I'm recording basically the same time I'm streaming right now, and I'm only recording the part with the gaming news. So you will see like the gameplay will be there, and then after I'm done with the stream, I will just upload the gaming news part again separate, because I've been thinking about how we can best do it to make like VODs which are not 6-7 hours long, and then they are mixed between gaming news and gameplay. Like it felt a little bit weird on YouTube. So there were only two ways of doing this here on YouTube. You cannot do it like on Twitch, where you can make like highlights or anything, and then you can choose like which one you upload to video, and then you can upload two things at once. So there were only two ways to do it. Like the way we are doing it right now, right? I am recording the gaming news part. Then when we are switching to gameplay, I would just stop the recording on my end. And then after we are done with the stream, I will upload that part separately. And then the gaming news part will disappear from the VOD of today. Right? Hey, Alf, how have you been? Nice to see you here. Welcome in. And or the other solution, if you are asking, what was the other solution? Well, the other solution would have been that I stop the stream after I'm done with gaming news and then start a new one. And I will be honest, that's not really what I want to do. Like, but believe me, that's the last thing I want to do, stopping the stream. because, well, that creates a lot of complications. Also, very important to note, we are on ultra low latency today. I want to see how that goes. And if that creates too many issues, tomorrow we will be back on the low latency, but not ultra low latency anymore. Hey Kirsten, doing alright. Home office today and taking a break. Is nice. Taking a break sounds good. Um, yeah, I was super sleepy, and I'm still like super sleepy. Um, I'm sleepy mode today. I'm sleepy mode today. If I'm looking a bit sleepy, you're like, man, he doesn't look like up to the part. Yeah, I'm a bit. Huh? 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 It's yeah, grabbing some food and relax for like half an hour before going back to work. What do you get to eat, Alf? But good to see you here. I'm very interested to see in the future who would join us for for this part of the show. Like I know that a lot of people tend to jump ship when you were changing the platform, and people are like, yeah, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, yeah, nah, I don't like the changing platform thing. Like I like when streamers are sticking to the platform. And again, I respect that totally. But yeah, had to be done. Rest over pizza is. Hey Kisha, how are you doing? Good morning to you. How are you doing this Monday? Tuesday, and this morning. Um, Regarding another part, so I have newly set up. It's not fully done yet. Before anybody is looking for it and before anybody is going crazy about it, I started it yesterday, but I'm not fully done yet. Um, Creating my Patreon page, like it's nearly done. I just have to do the tiers and some of the last things, and I think I will finish the Patreon today, so that the Patreon page is up and running. If you want to support me there, you can still, of course, support me on Twitch, because right now we can do so here on YouTube because we are not a partner, and I have no possibilities right now to basically give you anything to support me. But Twitch is still active. My Twitch partnership is still active. And of course, the link for the tips is still active if you want to tip to me. But I want to give like the people an outlet they can actually use, which is not built to Twitch, especially because now you are supporting me on Twitch, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong. And the alert, by the way, the alert will still go off. Like if you are, let's say, sub on Twitch, I will still get an alert here. So you don't, it's not like it would disappear or anything. It's just Twitch gets part of the money. And it's like, yeah, but I'm not streaming on the platform anymore. Right? I'm not streaming on the platform. So it's always a little bit weird when you give like part of the money to the platform I'm not really on anymore. Yeah, OnlyFans page is coming later. Yeah. No. Patreon is all you get, and no, there will be no weird stuff on it. Like it will be very open to what you get on Patreon. Yeah. Hey Gory, good to see you. Dishwashers. Yes. Yes. Um just gonna say that emote looks like two butts like bumping each other. Just saying. That emote looks so weird. It's like I was the first time I was see this and I was not seeing the description. I was like, what the heck is that? Like Moonland. Oh my god. Yo, legend. Good to see you. Good morning to you. Test, test. Alf, 1, 2, 3, test. Hello. Um. No avatar update yet. Yeah, it takes like 5 minutes or so. It's a bit weird. Yeah. It's a bit weird, but better that than being a blueberry. By the way, folks, quick note: we are again on ultra low latency today. Please make sure that you are live. Like you can see, like this little icon next to the play button, and the red icon, right? And as long as that is shining red, that means you are live. If you're not live, weirdly enough, YouTube is not counting you as a viewer. Like, even though you are just a second or two behind and you're not missing anything of the stream, YouTube is like, nah, you're not really live, so you're not counting as a viewer. You lost live already? Really? Oh, wow, that's quick. Yeah, do me a favor, folks, and keep an eye out for that. And if it happens too often, we switched to low latency yesterday, and it seems like most people didn't have a problem with low latency at all. Like nobody came forth and was like, "Hey, wow, I lost my life already," which is good. But if I have too many people who have that issue, we are just switching back to low latency. Like it's not low, like YouTube is offering you three latencies, like normal delay, which is like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, or something like that. Then they have a low latency, which is like 7 seconds, around 7 seconds. And then there is low latency, which is like, I think, 2 seconds, where they're trying to be like very, very close. So, yeah, we will see. We will see. Especially because right at the beginning, I need as many people as possible counting as live so that we have the viewer numbers and we can impress the YouTube gods. 7.7 seconds for me right now. That's good. That's pretty good. No, they can't. Because it's a completely different protocol they're using. So, by the way, folks, if you are looking for ways, because we're now on YouTube, right? We are now on YouTube, and if you're looking for ways to support the channel, there are actually multiple ways to do that. And there is first, if you like the tweet, I would gladly appreciate that. If you could like the tweet, just tweet it. If you're like, nah, I don't have Twitter, I don't like Twitter, liking, not my kind of forte. There's actually another way how you can now support me for free directly here in the channel. And that is, you see that little like button right under the stream? Click it, hit it, caress it, hug it. Yes, do it. No, for real, click on the like button. It helps. Well, if you don't like the stream and you think that that stream is dumb, then you have a dislike button at your hand. But yeah, if you want to support me and you want to help me out, that like button is helping a ton. Like seriously. YouTube's algorithm is using a lot of things behind the scene for interaction scanning. Like one of the main things they're also taking into account is chat activity, right? Like chat activity is actually something they are scanning for, and the better the chat activity, the better for the algorithm to promote the live stream. That is one of the things. Or the more likes it has, the algorithm is like, damn. So people who could have just watched the stream and do nothing could click the button. Wow. They must really like this. And it's like, when you think about it, you might laugh about it because it's just like, well, I clicked the like button. That wasn't really like a lot of work. For the YouTube algorithm and how YouTube works, it is, because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't click the like button, right? They're just watching a video and then they're moving on. That's it. So this is something very important for YouTube, and it's like, oh, look at that, interaction, yeah. And folks, thank you so much for all the people who liked and also retweeted my tweet. I do appreciate that. But yeah, so that's the thing. That's the thing. So whenever you have the time and you can like the stream, I would appreciate that. What else? Do we have anything else, really? I played some more Crusader Kings 3. I got my countries back from Hungary. Those bastards. And I'm now pretty big, giggity. Like, no, I'm a really big country right now. And I think for the next few years in Crusader Kings 3, I would just focus on keeping my country together, because I have the bad feeling that people will be not so happy. And, well, I had, what is it? The Bobatic Plague? Bobatic Plague? Baltic Plague? What is it called? Yeah, my court was ravaged by the plague, by the Bobatic Plague, and by the Bubble Plague. It was not pretty. Bubonic Plague. Yeah, Bubonic Plague. Exactly. Got ravaged, and man, people died, man. Like, my king died, which was not good. The son nearly died. Like, I could have lost the game there. Like, it was not pretty. Like, my court got ravaged. Like, I think I lost 17 people. 8 survived. Oof. Oof. That was not pretty. Yeah. So, yeah. But we are getting there. We are getting there. I'm now looking at conquering the rest of Hungary and Bavaria. Bavaria is next, because Bavaria is weak. And then it will be interesting, because after that we have only like big countries around us, like Byzantine Empire, East Francia, or now they changed the name to something, I don't know what they are now. Aquintia, something French. But the problem is they're pretty big. And this is the craziest thing. Like, so Scandinavia, right? Scandinavia was they had tons of wars. They were just warmongering each other. Like, it was wild what was going up there. And so the biggest country in Scandinavia was Sweden. Sweden was the biggest country. Denmark, gone. Sweden took it. Like, kiss that goodbye. Denmark was just gone. Then we had, what was the other one? What was the other one? Finland was basically not doing so great. Finland was not doing so hot, right? Like, even they were pretty much under fire, and not doing so great. And what was the other country? And Norway. Yeah, they also took Norway. So they took Denmark and Norway, and they were gone. And something must have happened. But Sweden doesn't exist anymore. Norway is back, and Denmark is now dominating everything. Denmark is now like the superpower in Scandinavia and is just conquering everyone. It's like, where do you come from? What? It's kind of weird. Like there's some weird stuff going up in Scandinavia, and I'm just like, dude, I don't touch that. I don't touch that. Like I I keep my I keep my war out of that one. I've also decided not to marry any of my people to that place, because I made a mistake with Hungary, and after I killed off a lot of people, Hungary got a lot of claims on my land, and it was not pretty. That was not pretty. They basically did split up my country in two sides, north and south, and then the middle was Hungary, and not by war, just by succession line. Like I was just not looking at my country for 2 seconds, and then I had like in the middle of my country there was just a scar, Hungary, and my country was split in two, north and south. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, that's what you get for selling off, like, well, not selling off, marrying off people to other countries. Like, you have to be very careful what you were doing. Doesn't necessarily end well. Mm-hmm. I tell you. So that was me yesterday, playing that a bit. Ooh. So, because we are getting closer to the cold, right? Like the cold is coming closer. We have the cold year. I got this. Haha. Yeah. Hot chocolate with Swiss chocolate. And it's the Noir brand, which is, well, dark chocolate. And should be delicious. As you can see, I haven't opened this yet. Still closed. So, looking forward to that one. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Yeah, produced in Switzerland. Produced in Switzerland. And we will see how that goes. Here's the thing. Like those are relatively expensive. But the thing is, this will probably last for the whole winter season. Like this will last for the whole winter season. So yeah, it's not like I'm drinking like every day. It's more like a fancy thing. Is that RuneScape? That one? No, really. There you go. Pure sensation. Mmm. Look at that pure sensation. Uh huh. That's all the pure sensation. So looking forward to that. You're just not allowed to drink that much. Like, damn. Yep. I will keep you informed when I drink it. I will keep you informed when I drink it. And we'll see how it goes. How are you doing, Swans? I have to get going. Ah. Good luck, Alf. Have fun with the meeting, man. Keep your head up. You can do it, man. Ah, thank you. Do appreciate that. Please check now and then if the live button is still there. Thanks. Love you. Bye. Have a good one, Alf. Where do you buy that? This was in Edeka. Oh no, actually it's to be more precise, Reichelt. Reichelt Edeka. But I think it's the same thing as just Edeka. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's where I bought it. They have so much like coffee and hot chocolate. I was actually this close, like I kid you not. I had it last year and it was delicious, but I was this close to buy the package again with hot chocolate and marzipan. I was this close because it's so delicious. It's like we have so much hot chocolate stuff and so much cappuccinos and coffee and whatnot. That's like, ugh. A lot of stuff you can choose from. A lot of stuff you can choose from. It's delicious. It's delicious. US is crap. Yeah, because we have rules like of you are only allowed to call it chocolate when you have like a certain percentage of cocoa and stuff in it. And I think the minimum was like, what is it, 45%? It's like the minimum. Like 45% is minimum cocoa. And if you don't reach that, then like you're not allowed to call it chocolate or something. But yeah, like we have some rules what you are allowed to call chocolate and whatnot. So boop, boop, boop. You can't stretch it. It's the same thing with literally any food, right? It's like why McDonald's, like you can actually eat McDonald's here in Europe. Like I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying it's like not fast food, right? Like it is what it is. But at least you are getting like real chicken in those chicken wings and not the crap they are trying to pull in the US. So, yeah. Again, not that I really like McDonald's, but you can eat it. So, that's the thing. All right. What else do we have? Do we have anything else? I don't think so. Tomorrow is the World of Warcraft pre-patch. That is what we are checking out tomorrow, just to prepare yourselves. That is what we are doing tomorrow. If you're like, no, World of Warcraft, no, what are we playing tomorrow? Well, the pre-patch. I mean, they have some events, they have some story stuff and whatnot coming, and I want to check that out. Yeah. I don't know how long we are playing the World of Warcraft pre-patch. Like, I really don't know. But yeah, excited for it. Yeah, it's coming out today in the US. Again, unfortunately, not in in the EU because we are one day later. Hmm. But this is actually fine for me. Um, is actually rather fine for me because then we can play Second Extinction today, and then we can play World of Warcraft pre-patch tomorrow. So better to manage for me, and I'm okay with that. Yep, yep, yep. Alrighty, let's talk about gaming news, shall we? Let's do that. Let's have some gaming news. Yes, let's do that. First things first. So there has been rumors or information, like insider information, you know the drill, going around that the Outer Worlds 2 has been in development at Obsidian, and apparently a new entry in the franchise is being explored currently in pre-production. Now, here's the thing. Not really surprising. Like, the Outer Worlds was absolutely successful, and Microsoft now has the IP, and they have the developer with Obsidian, and I can see that they want to keep this going, right? Because it works. It is exactly what people wanted, it is exactly what people needed, and now with a bigger budget, I can see that the Outer Worlds can become even bigger. Even though I have to say, I don't. I thought about this a bit, but with the Outer Worlds, I'm really in a hurry to like get the second game, and more importantly, like I don't need the Skyrim, you know? I don't need another Skyrim. I actually found that the Outer Worlds itself was good as it was, right? Like it was a very compact game. It was not like bloated with a lot of running around, doing side stuff which was unnecessary, and then doing like just the boring things. It was really like a very compact, very focused Fallout game, so to speak. Like Fallout itself was not the crazy game with like the Skyrim aspect to it. That's what Bethesda made it. So I actually found that the Outer Worlds was alright. Yeah, especially now that Microsoft um also owns Bethesda. I was actually first thinking that when they owned Obsidian, that Obsidian would basically become like the Bethesda developer for Microsoft, right? That they have like these huge open world games on based on the Outer Worlds, and that they would go for that part. But now that they have Bethesda themselves and they are owning Bethesda themselves, they don't really need Obsidian and the Outer Worlds anymore to be another Skyrim, to be another Fallout. They can just be their own thing. And because if they want another Fallout, if they want another, Bethesda as game, well, they now just have Bethesda, right? So I don't think it's a bad idea if the Outer Worlds 2 is a very enclosed game. Sure, they can add more features, they can add more stuff to the game, but I still believe that the Outer Worlds was actually in itself a game which I enjoyed as it is. I wasn't sitting there most of the time asking myself like, oh, how would this be if they would have added this? How would it be if they would make this game bigger? How would it be if, like, right? Like, sometimes you have those games and you ask yourself, how would it be? And it felt like this was all right. Like, the Outer Worlds for me always felt all right. So, if they're really working on a second game, what I would love to see from the second game is more weapons, definitely more weapons. give me a little bit more in depth with your character and your followers. Like the followers were right, but they were never like, oh wow, like crazy in depth. Like even Pavadi, I love Pavadi, and I love to do her story, right? I love to do the story of Pavadi. But then again, I it was alright. Like give me some more in-depth characters. Another big thing I want them to revisit is what is it called? The flaws system, right? That you can have like multiple flaws and then you are getting more talent points. I have to say, wasn't that important. Like you get enough points through the leveling system that you mostly don't need flaws. Like again, flaw system was fun and it was interesting, but in the end it wasn't really needed for anything. Like you could comfortably get like all the skills you want for your build and then even some extras without any flaws. Sure, if you wanted to get like all the skills in the game, which was not necessary because some of the skills were even a bit so, um, but you never needed it. It never felt like it makes sense to take a flaw. Like I took some flaws because they were fun and they didn't do much to me. Like I need to eat something now and then. I don't like heights. I thought they were fun, but they don't have to remove the flaws. I'm not saying remove the flaws. What I'm saying is give me more. Give me some cool extra perks I can only unlock through flaws or some boosts, right? Like something like that. Like, give me more instead of just a talent point with the flaws. That's what I want to see. But yeah, seems like the game is in pre production, which again makes sense. Not surprised by it. It was a success for everyone. And they want to do a second game. I can totally see that. Yeah, and I'm okay with that. All right, next news. This is news I have, well, forgotten. Yep, I have forgotten this news. Not because I forgot about the game, but more like it just happened, so to speak. Crucible got unplugged. Yep, that game. If you're like Crucible, 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 what was that? That was the Amazon game you were seeing here, by the way, running in the background. And it came out on the 21st of May. And then, like a few weeks later, in the beginning of June, um, well, it did go back into closed beta. And, well, they had stayed for a while. And now they announced on, I think on Saturday, they announced that Crucible will not further developed and they're just giving up on Crucible and they're moving on and they will use the developers on other projects. So apparently the developers for Crucible do not lose their jobs and they can at least work like for the New World and probably on Lost Ark. Like they need Lost Ark people like very much. But man, to look at Crucible, when they brought this back into beta, I followed the beta a little bit because I was interested to see where they're going with it. Because this game has good things to it. This game has some really, really cool things to it. I love the classes, the class-based system. The classes felt very unique. They looked unique. Um, like every class had like a certain thing going for them, and I always felt like they did a very good job on the classes. They even said they had like 50 more classes, which were already nearly done, right? Animation were done, and so on and so forth. But the problem was just everything else was shallow, which is the biggest problem. Like, first, they didn't really know what they want to do with this game. Like, if they want to do the hive mind or if they want to do the BR type game. So when they realized they don't have enough players, they killed off the BR type game and they just focused on the hive mind. But the biggest problem is just that there was so much unnecessary stuff going on. Like here, hunting the monsters. So you have to hunt the monsters to get your XP and then to level up your character, and then you unlock skills by just killing the monsters. The problem with that was the monsters were not really a threat. The monsters were not really your enemy. The monsters were just there. Like you killed the monster and you would get XP. And that was it. That was just it. Like the monsters were never a threat. They were just XP crates. And so you were splitting up, farming the monsters, then sometimes meeting the enemy players, and that you were doing that till the objective would show up, the hive mind. Then you would fight over the hive mind, or well, no, you wouldn't. See, there was another problem with this game. You wouldn't really fight over the hive. One team would start to attack the hive, and the rest of the team would be all over the map where they would capture buffs for the team, which will just be active for the whole rest of the game. So you basically had to make a decision as a team. Do you want to get the hive mind to get 1 out of 3 hive minds, or if you want to collect like all the buffs in the meantime, which gives you huge boosts for the rest of the game, like more damage, more health regeneration, and so on and so forth. Well, of course, you were going for the boosts. But because of that, there was always one team which were trying to go for the hive minds and try to end the game quickly, and then the rest of the team was trying to play the long game. Like there was a lot of disconnection between. There were basically like 2 important objectives on the map at the same time, and because of that, what happened in a lot of games were just Team A was doing the hive minds and Team B, well, was doing the objective. The map also felt very big. Like there was not a lot of action going on besides of the when the hive mind was showing up, but besides that, not a lot was happening. And some of the classes, like they also had a balance issue. Like the biggest issue here was the little robot. I unfortunately forgot the name of the robot, but that robot was OP. You could use turrets. You could fly. You could use a slow. You had a grenade launcher. You could give shields to your allies. Like that dude was an ace in everything. Mobility, defense, aggressiveness, support, and it's like, whoa, that's a bit too much. Puck, I think his name was Puck. I don't know his name anymore. And it's just like, yeah, the balance was another big issue. Like melee characters felt meh. and there were too many issues. But I think the biggest, like, balance, okay, balance they could have fixed. That's fixable. Like, balance is always a thing they can actually fix. But when it comes to the gameplay, like the things I just mentioned, that is not easily fixable. And to fix like all the underlying issues, they basically had to go back to a drawing board with this game and put a lot of time into it. And Amazon doesn't have that time right now. They seriously don't. Right now, Amazon needs the developers on 3 projects. New World, which, yes, had issues, yes, felt a bit shallow, but was relatively big in success when it came to the numbers and also the amount of people on Twitch actually watching that game. So that's where they need people. The next one is Lost Ark. Like, they announced basically that they will be the publisher for Lost Ark here in the West. And they need people for that. They really, really need people for that. And then there is the third game Amazon Game Studios have been working on for quite some time, and that is the Lord of the Rings MMO. Like, Lord of the Rings has been in development now for a bit, not too much. It's not as crazy as New World, which has been in development now for what, 4 years, 5 years. And Amazon really has to get out those games because, well, Amazon hasn't released a single game yet. Like, all the games they have been working on has been pushed back or has been in beta then killed off, or like Crucible has been released then put back into beta and then killed off. Like, Amazon's biggest issue is that they actually have like a track record of not releasing games. Or if they release them, they put them back into beta and then kill them off later on. Like, they have to fix that. And it seems like they're finally doing it. They're finally focusing on the games. And they're not trying like a shotgun system to hit as many games as possible. Like, we first, like Crucible, what was the other one? I always forget the other one. What was the other game? What was the other game? I always forget the name of it. Breakaway. Thank you, Sigla. Thank you. Yeah, Breakaway. So Breakaway was the other one, which was such a weird game. Like, I kid you not, it was a Rocket League meets Fortnite meets MOBA with built-in gambling mechanics for Twitch. I kid you not. And Breakaway was such a weird game. It tried to be everything and nothing. And I have the feeling that the same problem was with Crucible a bit, where Crucible tried to be everything but nothing. Like, it tried to appeal to so many people that, yeah, Breakaway only made it to closed beta and then it died. Let me show you a little bit of Breakaway gameplay. Again, Breakaway is like Breakaway was literally Rocket League meets Smite meets Fortnite building. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So they broke away of it. Badooms. So that's it. This is the building part. Like, you can actually build ramps and like smaller buildings and turrets and whatnot. And then you would have this super small arena where you can also fight each other. And then you have this, well, ball which you have to get into the goal of the other team. But you can still also kill each other. It was such a chaotic, and there was also, as I said, like built-in gambling. Like you could gamble bits and whatnot in this game on Twitch. It was a weird combination because it didn't work. Like they took the simplicity from Rocket League and tried to make it in depth, but because of that became just chaotic, and especially for non-pros, like for just random teams, it was just everyone was killing everyone. But yeah, this is Breakaway, and it never came to fruition. And the same thing is to be said about New World. Like, New World is struggling a little bit, not as badly anymore, but definitely a little bit with. It tries to appeal to everyone. It tries to appeal to the PvE players, but it also tries to appeal to the PvP players, but it also tries to appeal to the crafters. And it's like, okay, slow down, Amazon, slow down. Try to focus on not too many things at once. Yeah, the crafting in New World is amazing till you realize that it's useless. Because you can just easily get the same equipment, if not even better, by just killing some enemies, doing some quests. And the same goes for PvP. Yes, PvP can give you some amazing equipment, but you can just do PvE and then get this equipment again. Like, PvE seems to nullify a lot of the gameplay elements in this game. That doesn't mean they have to remove PvE from the game in New World, but they have to make sure that crafting is still like the thing you want to do, you want to get your equipment from. Like when you reach, what is it, level 20? 15? I don't know what level it was. When you can choose your faction, that's the moment where you realize that you can just do your PvE dailies, get the points, and for the points you can just buy the equipment. And I made a video about it. Like on I did the math on what is better, like PvP dailies or PvE dailies, when you were just going for the equipment, and PvE dailies always wins. PvE dailies always wins. So yeah, they need some work. But here's the thing with New World, it's doable, but Crucible, again, I understand why they closed down Crucible. They needed the developer, and the same basically goes with Breakaway. Breakaway tried to be like a Smite with Rocket League, and it never worked out. Oh, I hated this map. This was such a shitty map. I remember this. This was one of the last maps they released for the game. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, as I said, like in the New World, a certain aspect of the game contradict each other. They literally contradict each other. And when they can fix that, then the New World can be a really good game. So, but yeah, Crucible is dead, as expected. They need the developers somewhere else. The same with Breakaway. There were two very incoherent games. and now Amazon will focus on New World, Lost Ark, and Lord of the Rings. So, yeah, we will see. We will see. All right. Next news. So apparently, Rockstar Games has bought the Crackdown 2 studio Ruffian Games. Ruffian Games was, as said, the the developer and co-developer of Crackdown 3, Ruffian Games, and Ruffian Games was rebranded into Rockstar Dundee, and we have no clue what it is. They only said that they're working on unspecified titles for Rockstar Game Studios since 2019, when the company was looking for engineers. And then in August 2020, with all the position and focusing on projects with our partner Rockstar Games, it seems like they just got now bought directly by Rockstar Games to have like more control about whatever they're working on. Yeah. So we don't really know what it is, but we will probably find out at some point. I mean, if they started to work on the game in 2019, I'm pretty sure we will not see anything about the game for the next 3 years at least. So don't get your hopes up, whatever that is. But still interesting that Rockstar bought a studio. Mm-hmm. Speaking of buying stuff and making them big, oh boy. So, um, today was announced that the Chinese live streaming platforms Huya, and Duju have entered an arrangement to merge. As a result of the merger, which is expected to close during the first half of 2021, Duju will become a wholly owned subsidiary of Huya. Um, the deal was mediated by Tencent, which is the majority owner of Huya and also has a 38% stake in Duju. The Chinese tech giant will own 67.5% stake in the newly merged company. And as a part of the agreement, Huya will acquire all the outstanding shares of Duju, including the ordinary shares represented by the American depository shares through a stock-for-stock merger. The CEO of Huya will still be the same. They will not change out. And Huya is the largest live streaming service in China, reporting over 168.5 million monthly active users on an average during quarter two in 2020. And meanwhile, Doju averaged 165 million users during quarter two of 2020. So basically, the two biggest live streaming platforms become one in China. And that's pretty big. That's pretty big. Like, yeah. Yay, Monopoly. Well, here's the thing. Yes. Yay, Monopoly. Hey, right? Like nobody really wants that. But here's the thing, man. By the way, if you want to see Huya, this is Huya. It is important for. No, this is not Counter Strike. This is Crossfire, I think. This is Crossfire. And if you are like, wait, that's Counter Strike, that's what Crossfire is, by the way. uh, pretty much. Is this Crossfire? I think this is Crossfire. Pretty sure this is Crossfire. Whatever. Um, the point is with Huya and Doju, they were the biggest in China, but they were fighting each other, and there was something good old Tencent didn't like at all because they want to create like the streaming platform, and it is very important because Tencent is actually looking at um, becoming bigger in the West through their streaming platform. Oh yeah, totally. Like Crossfire X is like that Valve never started a lawsuit against it is kind of interesting to say the least. Yeah, but the point is, like, Tencent is very interested in becoming like the biggest market in in China, which they nearly have achieved. But now they're working on also um, getting into the West. Not now. Keep it to Chinese right now. Um, oh look at that! Somebody's playing Dota 1. Dota 1 is still like super big in China, believe it or not. It's like still huge. It's fascinating. So it's weird. It does. Yeah, this is Dota 1. Um, but yeah, the what is it? The live streaming platform they're using in the West is oh god, I'm always forgetting the name. It's horrible. What's the name? Um, what's the name? Trovo. Thank you. Uh, yeah, Trovo is also owned by Tencent. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're merging Huya and also Tojo, that they will start to utilize that also for Trovo at some point. Like, streaming is absolutely paramount for Tencent. Like, it's absolutely important. And hi, Gaffy. Hi. Hi. This feels weird. What feels weird? You are weird. But yeah, streaming is like super duper important. And unfortunately, Tencent tried to get into the Western streaming platforms. Like, as far as I know, Tencent actually tried to get into like Twitch or even like YouTube and stuff, because that's what normally Tencent is doing, right? Tencent is not really known for building up companies. They are getting into companies when they are already really big, and then they're just buying like a huge stake into that company, or they're just outright buying the company completely. But the problem is right now that nobody was interested. Like Amazon and Twitch was like, no, you're not getting in here. YouTube, of course, itself was like, nope. Mixer was owned by Microsoft, and that was a nope. So they were actually looking for another streaming platform they could push, and that is Trovo. Now, the problem with Trovo is, of course, Trovo is still very much at the beginning, and we will see like how much Tencent invest into this. Yeah, Crossfire is basically a carbon copy of Counter Strike 1.6. It totally is. Totally is. Mhm. I wonder what happened if Tencent got Mixer. Yeah, that's the interesting part. But the thing is, Microsoft needed Facebook, not for the streaming. Like, they don't give a damn about that anymore. but they needed it for the range of cloud gaming and stuff. Yeah. Being on YouTube, oh, Gaffy, it's okay. You can still chat with me. You can still watch my streams. Nothing is really different. It's just like different UL and not being on Twitch. But the problem is just Gav. Like I said it yesterday and I said it on my video on Saturday. Is Twitch just doesn't do it for me anymore. Like it just doesn't work. Like yeah, it just doesn't do it. So yeah. Like also here's the thing, it's not just like I try to make this very clear because that is actually very important for me regarding the whole leaving Twitch thing. It was not just about the numbers. It was not just a pure number decision. I actually didn't enjoy myself on Twitch. Like whenever I was going on the platform, I felt like out of place. I don't belong on Twitch. I feel like I don't want to be here. That's how I always felt with Twitch. That was one of the reasons why I never choose Twitch in the first place when I choose to go to Mixer 4 years ago. Right? I was looking at Twitch and I was like, this is not the place to be. This is not where I want to be. So yeah. So that was definitely one of the reasons. And I clicked something I shouldn't have clicked. Let's do translate. Let's see what we. Yep. They're actually playing what are they playing? I don't know what they're playing. I don't know. It's the subscription. I assume that's like Daddy Lost? Wait, what? Um I mean they have some really cool stuff here. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty neat. Um do we see the numbers? I don't even know if we. Oh wow, super clear. Blu-ray? Wait, we can switch to Blu-ray quality? Damn. Look at that Blu-ray quality. I don't know what that is. It's probably like, well, Blu-ray could be 4K. You don't know how many people are actually watching right now. I don't know. I don't know how many people are watching this. But it's huge, so let me see what else do they have. Let's watch live. Okay. So apparently, well, they're a little bit bigger here. Translate. Oh yeah, this is League of Legends mobile, by the way. It's not. Oh my god. Why? Who's doing this? Oh, we can impeachment. Wait, what? Can we deactivate this? Can we deactivate this? That is like super annoying. Holy shit! I can see nothing. I'm pretty sure you can deactivate this somehow. I'm pretty sure you can deactivate this. Oh, it's like the TV mode. Maybe somebody acted the TV mode. I think somebody activated the TV mode or something. Yeah, I have no clue exactly how this works here. But holy moly, he has 10 million people watching right now. Jesus. I mean, that's China for you, man. They're working with a little bit. Now it's 11 billion. What? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Yeah, so, folks, I finally reached 2,000 viewers on Twitch, right? Like 2,000. I'm pretty proud of this. And then you look at like freaking Hooyer, and it's just the what now? Yeah, but this is like, keep in mind, this is the biggest platform, and Tojo is the second platform, which is nearly as big as this one. Like they're just like 3 million people less or something, and they are merging together. Like it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, uh, folks, starting tomorrow, we are streaming on Huja in English. We will see how that goes. Uh, I'm joking. I'm joking, of course. I think you cannot even stream there from the West, and it would be horrible because the servers would be in China, right? And so the connection would be absolutely horrible. Yeah, funny enough, I mean, it could actually work because it is like a novum, right? Like it's something which is not happening quite often that you are an English streamer. And I heard the Chinese like Germans, so why not? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. So, but yeah, that is a big merger coming up, and yeah, Genshin Impact. No, that's also an Asian thing. Like in Japan, it's the same thing. Like in Japan, it's also like they're using like a lot of German terminology and German words. It's very fascinating. Like it's an Asian thing. So, next news. So now that we talked about that, but yeah, that is a huge merger coming up. Next news. Disney. I think that's kind of important. Disney is now focusing more on streaming in general, but the CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek, said that this has nothing to do really with COVID. COVID has just accelerated the rate at which we made this transition, but the transition was going to happen anyway, and we are tilting the scale pretty dramatically towards streaming. But yeah, that's apparently now what they are focusing on. So streaming is apparently the new thing for Disney, and I have to say, Disney, well, that's cool, that's great, but you really have to get your streaming in order. Like your streaming right now is a mess. Um, like the best example I can always just give is DuckTales, right? The new DuckTales, not the old ones, the new ones. Season 1 is on Disney Plus. That's where you can watch DuckTales. If you want to watch all the other seasons of DuckTales, you have to go to Hulu. And it's like, well, first, that's dumb. Second, I cannot even watch Hulu where I live because it's only available in America. Like I cannot even use it. If I try to like start a trial or create an account or like something, I will get the notification like, "Oh well, yeah, you're living in the country where Hulu is not even available. Well, sucks to be you." So it's just Disney, get your stuff in order. Just fix it. Like I don't want to be on multiple platforms. Like when I start to watch DuckTales, right? I want to stick to Disney Plus and not have to go somewhere else. So yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's okay that they are basically switching to streaming, but they have to clean it up a bit. They have to clean it up a bit. All right. Um. Next news. Oh well. Well, this is a bit interesting. So a content creator going or where well was going by the name Poke Princess or Princey XSS. Let's just say Princess. Okay, let's just say Princess. Um, that is this lovely woman here. Yes, she. She is an adult content creator, and as you can see, she is loving Pokemon. So her name was, of course, also like Poker Princess, and well, she got in trouble with Nintendo, in big trouble, because she thought that it would be a great idea to have some merchandise with her name on it, and well, looking like this. Yeah. So, as you can imagine, good old Nintendo didn't find anything but funny about this because that was infringing Nintendo's copyright. Big time. She's also an adult TikTok influencer. Like she's also doing some adult stuff. But she was trying to pull that card. Like, hey, yeah, Nintendo found me because I'm doing adult stuff, and Nintendo is more like a family friendly company, and they don't like adult content creators. It's like, no, 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 no. Believe me, Nintendo doesn't care really, like, if you are doing adult content or not. The problem is that you are using Nintendo's holy grail. Like, Pokemon is Nintendo's holy grail. and using that copyright to make money of it. That is what Nintendo doesn't find funny about. Like what you are doing like on TikTok and other places for adult content, like that's up to you. Like nobody cares. But if you are selling merch and you have millions of followers and you make a lot of money from that merch, yeah, that doesn't fly. Like Nintendo is going for your ass, and not in a good way. So she got a cease and desist letter, of course, and she also had to pay back some of the money she made from her merchandise, and she also had to change her name, and she now changed it to um what is it called? Let me see. Her new name is Digital Princess. Yes. And she's saying that I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to play the victim in this situation, and I only hope to be somebody people can learn from and not make the same mistake I did. I still love Nintendo and will forever support them. It's kind of a cool thing to say that the ones who made my childhood so cool, they finally noticed me. All it took was for me to infringe on everything about them. Right. 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 So, yeah, yeah. It's, oh yeah, she also tried. That was actually how this got triggered. She actually tried to trademark her own username. So she was trying to trademark Poker Princess, and well, of course, Nintendo got notified by this. Like, hey, somebody tries to pull that. You wanna do that? Like, you wanna do something about that? And yeah, yeah, yeah. Kids, don't use copyright names. Yes, that goes out to all the Narutos out there. If you have Naruto in your name, change that. A, it's not edgy. B, you infringe copyright. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hmm. I'm looking at you, Naruto names. All right, last news for today. So far, at least. Watchdogs Legion updated their hardware requirements for PCs. So we already knew and we already talked about the hardware requirements for Watchdogs Legion. Problem was, this was without ray tracing. Like, we didn't know what we actually need for ray tracing and other stuff. And well, they updated it, and now we got the data on that. So let's have a look at that. Like, as I said, we already talked about this one like a few weeks ago. Nothing has really changed here, but this is actually the interesting part. So if you want to have ray tracing on, you want to go high settings, you want to use ray tracing medium, you want to use DLSS quality, and you need an Intel Core i5 8400 or an AMD Ryzen 5 2600 and a GeForce RTX 2060 for that. And of course, 16 gigabyte of RAM. If you want to go 4040p with very high settings on ray tracing and DLSS quality, you need an Intel-Core i7 9700 or an AMD Ryzen 5 3600 with a GeForce RTX 3070, and that didn't really change. And if you want to go for 4K ultra settings, you need basically ray tracing ultra, DLSS performance mode, not quality anymore, performance mode though, an Intel i9 9900K or Ryzen 7 3700X and GeForce RTX 3080. Good luck with that. So here is the problem. A few things I see with this. First of all, this. I know this is probably coming from Nvidia directly. Like, don't talk about the 2070, the 2080 or something anymore. Right? Like, just don't talk about it anymore and just talk about the new ones. But this is pretty annoying. Like, so I have a 2080 Super. Where do I stand with that? Or if you have a 2080 Ti or 2070 or 2070 Super or something like that, like, where do you stand with that? They don't mention that, and it's pretty annoying. Like, especially this one, like the 3070 is, I think, coming out like a day after Watchdogs Legion is coming out. Like, okay, we already know that nobody will have the cards, so it doesn't really matter. And then even if you are having to go for a 3080, it's like, yeah, try to get the 3080. Good luck with that. Like, this is not really helping. This is not really helping because I don't know where I stand with the older cards. And no, this is an Nvidia thing. They're always doing it when a new card is coming out. They basically start to pretend as the previous card never existed, right? Nobody is using that. It's like, yeah, I get it, but it's a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying how they do it. F, yeah, F for all the people. So, and also very interesting that they want you to use DLSS everywhere when you're using ray tracing. I find that very interesting. Don't get me wrong, I would do it anyways, and this is probably why they say it, right? Like, you want to use DLSS anyways when you have it. But it's rather interesting that they are mentioning it. Like, it becomes like a mandatory thing, which I hope for the future is not a trap we are walking into, right? When a feature becomes mandatory, is it really then still a feature? Like, a feature is a nice thing on top of all the other things, right? It is an addition. But when it becomes mandatory, it's not an addition anymore. Well, it becomes mandatory. And I hope they are not using DLSS for like bad optimized video games to say like, yeah, well, by the way, folks, if we screwed up development and the game you are playing runs really, really poorly, we would tell you that you just use DLSS, that fixes most of the issues we had. It's like, yeah, don't do that. That's not where I want to go. That's really not what I want to see. Especially because we know that AMD doesn't have DLSS, right? And yeah, don't force that. Like, it's a great thing to have, but I can already see so many developers using it as an excuse for just not putting in the work in games and just be like, yeah, we could work on the performance here a bit more,
but no, let's let the people just use DLSS. Let's not work on the performance too much. We have DLSS for that. It's okay, man.
I was like, no, don't. Please don't. Don't do that. So, yeah. Cool. Cool. But also, don't make it a standard yet. Anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah, by the way, if you are thinking about getting like a GeForce 3070, which is coming out by the end of October, good luck. Like, there have been already shops which apparently broke the NDA, and they were like, yeah, folks, like, we have ordered like 5,000 3070s, and so far we have gotten 246. Like, normally they are not allowed like to talk about the numbers they have ordered and they have gotten from Nvidia, but apparently just some shops had enough of this and they were like, no, like we ordered like tons of cards and we only got like not even 10%, not even 10% of the cards we want. So or with the 3080, apparently they had 3,625 cards ordered, and in total they have gotten 460 cards, and they have been told by Asus, Gigabyte, and so on and so forth that they will get by the end of the year another batch of 100 cards. Well then, cool. So, if you are looking to get a 30 card, good luck. Good luck. At least here in good old Germany. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't look too much better around the world. Yeah. Yeah. Which was to be expected. We are checking out Second Extinction after we're done with the news part. But yeah, that was to be expected. Like, that is unfortunately the thing a lot of people expected, that the whole Nvidia launch was a paper launch, and they just wanted to have it out there to be basically coming out before the consoles being released. And AMD is also releasing their cards. They just wanted to be first. Like, hey, we are first. Now everyone is focusing on us. And it worked. But slowly but surely, people are really getting pissed. Like, the longer this charade is going on, and apparently it will go on till next year, people are getting more and more restless to getting those cards. And we will see what AMD has to offer. And if AMD has like good cards and enough cards, this might even backfire for Nvidia. Well, there has to be a lot of things happening that happens, but there is a possibility for it now. So, yeah, like Nvidia screwed this up big time. Tiny, how are you doing? How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Have I mentioned that I need a new thumbnail for the news? Tired? We can take a nap together. Yeah, we can take a nap together. I'm also really tired. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yeah. I need a banner for like the news when we are in the news segment. I definitely need a banner for that because if we are sticking with YouTube, like we're in the news segment right now, and everyone is looking probably at the banner, and they're like, "That is a weird thumbnail for a news show he has right now. Why is he fighting dinos? Why is he a minigun? What is going on in that news show?" It's like, what? No, we are doing no. We are doing the cyberpunk first. That's 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 the thing we would do because that would take the longest, and we would do the cyberpunk first. Yep. No, I haven't. I haven't, Chaos. I haven't done much yet. Like putting like stream elements as a bot in my channel will probably take till like next week. I will use the weekend. So, all right. But with that said, folks, I think it's time. Um, it's time for playing some video games. So, thank you very much for watching the news show. But now it's time to play some video games. Let's do that.